A Mortal's Journey to Immortality Episode 238. In the previous episode, tension reached its peak as the Moulan army, led by the cold and calculating xianxia, advanced toward the Yellow Dragon Mountains to break through the enemy's defensive formation. Despite the risks, she pressed forward, determined to seize Soaring Heavens City before the southern cultivators could unite their forces. Under her orders, hundreds of spell warriors climbed the mountain in search of spoils, unaware that they were walking straight into a carefully prepared trap. Within moments, the mountain trembled, and a thick wave of green mist surged back into the sky, swallowing everyone inside. Outside the formation, xianxia remained composed, even as her men were annihilated. She coldly ordered a full-scale assault, confident in her own strength and speed to face the one man who had already slain 2 Moulan sages, Han Li. Meanwhile, hidden deep within the mist, Han Li moved with precision and calm. After swiftly killing an enemy core formation spell warrior, he sensed the rising spiritual energy and the distant beat of war drums echoing through the fog. And the episode 238 continues. The bald man sighed. I didn't think the Moulan would be so careful. Although we killed a few of their spell warriors, we didn't do much to harm their strength. We now can only use force against force. Brother Ma, how is your magic power holding up? You used the concealing heaven flags to cover half of the mountaintop. Old man Ma twirled his beard casually. With the magic power I have left, I won't be able to defeat the enemy. But I should have no problem distracting a Moulan sage. The bald man nodded solemnly. That's fine. Leave the rest of the enemies for me and fellow Taoist Han to deal with. Fellow Taoist Bu has also restored some of his strength. I've instructed his subordinates to call for him if the situation turns dire. Old man Ma's spiritual sense swept the battlefield, focusing on the tremendous beast looming outside of the formation. He frowned with worry. That will be troublesome. We cannot afford distractions, and I fear our core formation cultivators will not be enough to deal with it. There is nothing we can do, the bald man admitted, but with the Moulan brothers watching over the formation, they will provide some assistance. As core formation cultivators who specialize in lightning techniques, they are hard to kill and may be effective even against such a beast. Han Li then appeared from the green mist, his azure light fading to reveal him standing calmly. Smiling, he asked, fellow Taoists, it seems the Moulan are about to attack. Do you have any plans to withstand them? The bald man repeated their earlier strategy to Han Li, explaining the need to use the formation, core formation cultivators, and the remaining magic tools to delay and weaken the enemy. Han Li frowned at the mention of the enormous beast, muttering, this strange breed should only exist in ancient times. How did the Moulan acquire it? He then relaxed and agreed to follow the plan. Acknowledging the severity of the coming battle, Han Li stated calmly, since this concerns the safety of the entire heavenly south, I must do my best. But the enemy is powerful. My spirit may be willing, but my body could struggle. Old man Ma smiled respectfully. Even if you cannot match them alone, Brother Han, none of us could. Han Li glanced at him and smiled mysteriously. Brother Ma, you overestimate me. Please do not set your expectations too high. Just then, the bald man called out, Yi, the Moulan have begun their assault. Red lights suddenly filled the sky in the direction of the enemy spell warriors. Several dozen miniature suns gathered, forming a cloud of intense heat. Old man Ma shouted in alarm. What is this? This is a spell warrior spirit technique formation. The bald man explained. They use spell warriors as living components of the formation. A high-grade spell warrior controls it. Likely the fire attribute spell warrior from yesterday. Those fireballs are his doing. Han Li decided the best course was to enter the formation cautiously. Before fighting the nascent soul stage spell warriors, let us kill as many low-grade spell warriors as possible, he said. Both the bald man and old man Ma agreed, and the core formation cultivators, including Yingning, entered the green mist as instructed. Inside the formation, tens of spell warriors arranged themselves in groups, raising sparkling fire-red tools to gather fire energy and conduct the spirit technique formation. Hundreds of huge fireballs hovered in the air, surging with heat so intense that the spell warriors themselves trembled, suffering under the force they maintained. At the center, Ku Yao sat cross-legged, hair disheveled, with 6 massive red banners rotating around him. A 3-meter-long fire python spiraled above his head, glowing brilliantly. Nearby, a green-robed woman watched him coldly, while a shriveled spell warrior lingered behind, observing with concern. Ku Yao suddenly opened his eyes and shouted, "Go!" The 6 banners erupted into scarlet pillars of light, which were absorbed by 6 massive fireballs. Trembling for a moment, the fireballs then surged into the sky and launched toward the green mist like flaming meteors, each explosion scattering the formation instantly. The carefully constructed green mist could not withstand this onslaught, leaving 6 large areas completely exposed. The green-robed woman activated a golden circle and attached it to the blue horn of the giant rhino, which immediately glowed and turned its eyes blood red. It released a thunderous roar and charged toward the formation, trampling on the clouds beneath it, while yellow and green light flashed brightly around it. "Let's go in," the green-robed woman said. "Sage Ku Yao will continue destroying the restrictions. We will bring this formation down." The spell warriors on standby cheered and began entering the green mist in groups. Following her lead, the shriveled spell warrior trailed behind in a streak of black light, leaving only a few hundred spell warriors outside the restriction. Ku Yao's fireballs continued to fall, erupting into tens of massive flames, each threatening to break the remaining boundaries of the green mist formation. With wild laughter, Ku Yao rose into the air, leading the spell warriors in a coordinated assault. Inside the mist, Han Li floated silently on a huge azure sword, his body enveloped in armor of black-tainted gold devouring beetles. 3-meter-long swarms of golden beetles hovered above him, each appearing malicious and bloodthirsty, ready to strike at the right moment. Blinking several times, Han Li noted the presence of a mid-nascent soul-stage sage among the enemies, surprising him that it was a female spell warrior. He then summoned his formation tools and quickly laid down the mightiest spell formation he could muster on such short notice. Turning his attention to his small white fox companion, Han Li commanded, "Silvermoon, come out. I will be giving you the purple cloudless, and the flower basket as well." The opponent this time seems even more troublesome than Wanner's senior martial sister. Be careful, if her abilities are too fearsome, we will not need to strain ourselves. Let's lure her here and use the green mist restrictions along with my spell formation to even the odds. If that won't do, we will simply escape. There is no need to stake it all. He then summoned the purple cloudless and the flower basket into his hand before tossing it to the small white fox. And that wraps up this episode. In this part, we saw the tension rise to a whole new level as the Moulan forces launched a fierce assault on the green mist formation. Han Li, along with the allied cultivators, had to face an onslaught of fire spirit technique formations, massive flaming meteors, and a gigantic beast charging relentlessly into their defenses. We witnessed how quickly Han Li assessed the battlefield, using his strategic mind to deploy powerful formations and magical tools, carefully planning how to counter the enemy while minimizing risks. The episode also highlighted the importance of teamwork and coordination. While Han Li took the lead with his abilities, the core formation cultivators and other allies worked together to hold the line, distract the enemy, and protect key positions. We could clearly see how even the smallest misstep could lead to disaster, emphasizing the constant danger and tension in these battles. This episode shows that in the face of overwhelming power, intelligence, adaptability, and cooperation can tip the balance. It reminds us that courage and careful planning are just as important as raw strength in a conflict of this scale. Han Li's calm, calculated approach, combined with his powerful tools and companions, demonstrates how a clever strategy can help confront even the most fearsome opponents. If you enjoyed this episode or found it exciting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel to receive notifications for the latest episodes following Han Li's journey. Thank you so much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again in the next video, where more thrilling developments await.